Hi and welcome back to AniCap Explained. Today we'll be recapping the anime called Tenchi Mayo War on Geminar. Let's begin! This story is of a teenage boy Kenshi Masaki, who is teleported to another world called Geminar. He keeps ruminating about ways he can return to his planet Earth when luckily he gets a relatively smooth deal. He is asked to assassinate the newly crowned empress of the Shet Ryu Empire named Lecherous. Desperate to return, he agrees to the condition and is armed with a giant mecha named Sacred Mechanoids. In his earnest attempt to leave, he faces off against the bodyguards of the Empress called Chaya Flan and Wahanli Shum. He defeats the opponent, but at the defining moment, his conscience takes over his urge to kill the Empress and decides to kidnap her instead. During the chaos, he is again attacked by the bodyguards and is held captive. The girls are all in awe of his skills to master a mecha, when Doll, which is one of the 3 artificial human beings on a mission to protect the last sacred mechalord, retrieves him. There it is revealed that he was deceived, as there is no way of returning to Earth, and the assassins plan to execute him. But he manages to escape, showcasing his remarkable martial arts skills. He is miraculously rescued by a mech pilot called Aura, and returns to Lecherous. They realize our protagonist manifests a fatal disorder that might kill him unless treated in 6 hours. 2 of the girls set foot to stumble on a triumph herb, but they are intervened by Doll, who belongs to the gang that carried Kenshi off to Geminar. However, the team succeeds in bringing back the herb and treating the protagonist. The airship then embarks on a journey to Holy Land. Lecherous, taking into account his fighting skills, decides to recruit Kenshi as her servant. She also conceals the fact that Kenshi is a sacred mecha master. On a fine day, Kenshi visits a prestigious academy where the Empress Focal Aid is trained in the Holy Land. There Kenshi learns new things and meets interesting people. He comes to know Mexia, who is Chaya's sister. Also, he meets a dark elf princess and an enigmatic character named Yuihime. Next, the anime introduces its viewers to Lecherous' cousin Marka Dan, who is also the princess of Havaniwa, along with her assistant who is known as Yuihime. However, the most worth mentioning highlight here is that both the bodyguards of Lecherous are appointed as the Mecha Master or the Holy Machine Wielders who are officially obliged to guard the Holy Land. Lecherous makes it clear that Kenshi will have to pull his weight to access his basic needs, including his meals. Subsequently, he is greeted by the sacred headmistress of the prestigious academy, who then assigns him all the tasks he must go on with. Despite the list of objectives, Kenshi does not quiver and gets all the jobs done with extreme proficiency, which makes him the hot topic among the staff. Meanwhile, Lecherous goes through his report and realizes he has bagged a plentiful amount of money and decides to keep his hands full with these jobs. He continues to amaze people and goes on with meeting new people when he meets Lithia, who is the student council president and also the offspring of Pope. Tired, Mexia exploits Kenshi by hypnotizing him into a massaging machine. Later, Mexia and Kenshi get involved into a buffoonery, which is definitely a bicker for the headmistress. Life becomes mundane and hectic at the same time as Kenshi has to dash to attend the academy and run the errands side by side. The academics are not even a jolt for him, but the girls and their shenanigans put him in tough situations. The tomfoolery of girls post-massage cost them hefty cleaning under the command of the harem king. Shortly after the setback, Maria, Lecherous' cousin, tries to set her assistant Yuihime with Kenshi but realizes Kenshi already has massive fangirls who chase him 24/7. As time passes and the hustle breaks, Kenshi shares some bits and pieces of his past with Lecherous and Chaya. In an unintended accident, Chaya breaks Kenshi's crystal pendant and deeply regrets her oversight. In order to make up for her mistake, she mends the pendant with red string and later flusters as she realizes the red color symbolizes an intimate relationship. The popular boy does not get his time off chasing the girls. The not-so-poor boy has his fan club growing day by day as he secures a position on the student council. The girls were not the ones to let go of Kenshi meekly and sit back. The upper-class and lower-class girls jumble up and ally. Funnily, the objective is to capture Kenshi. They amplify their power by exaggerating the member count in their alliance. Kenshi, on the other hand, copes with the anarchy by running ceaselessly. To sort out the issue, the 2 parties compete in a cooking competition which is bested by Kenshi due to his secret ingredients. Kenshi had put his freedom at stake with a cooking competition and hence put all his energies into cooking the meal and beating the quintessential chief. Before we move further, I would request you all to take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Done? Well then let's continue. Later on, Lecherous and Maria are invited by Later's mother, Queen of Havaniwa Flora Nana Dan, so that the queen can greet the limelight of the town, which is of course Kenshi. The girls and Kenshi voyage toward the resort when Kenshi comes across his male classmate. Series Taito, who is also a sacred mechmaster. The boy is intending to elope with his girlfriend, but one way or another, they fail to do it. The protagonist raises his spirits high and helps the couple sail another ship. As is expected, Flora is also infatuated with the boy and cogitates about him while the girls are busy with their antics. Meanwhile, some of the bandits attack Ceres and Dagmir for money. However, they are unable to achieve their mission and Dagmir offers them a deal. This group is led by Cody Line and her daughter Lon and are intervened when Kenshi comes to rescue his friend. The bandits were there with the objective to stumble worth breeding with. Dagmir overtures his own germs to the leader. The purpose was to enable her to breed a worthy pilot for her bloodline. As the deal is in process, one of the bandits' focal persons infiltrates the prestigious academy, leaving Dagmir stressing over it. Dagmir, in his attempt to figure out the escapee, orders the student council to conduct a warrior tournament. This puts Kenshi in the spotlight, mainly because he is the protagonist and partly because he has the skills. As the referee shoots the gun for the race, the contenders run and ultimately the competition reaches a showdown between Aura and Kenshi. The plot is predictable enough as Kenshi wins the marathon, but strangely enough, he doesn't stop at the finishing line. The reason behind Unstoppable Kenshi is the Chaya's threats. Immediately after she gives him a free hand, he pauses and blackouts in front of Aura. Aura has been having flashbacks ever since she met Kenshi and her love hormone activates, resulting in kissing the protagonist. While the love is blooming between them, Yuihime and Dagmir join hands to prepare an assault against enemy forces. The male sacred mechmasters also ally up with Dagmir and shortly enough capture a significant portion of the Holy Land. The chaos is real and the populace is advised to evacuate as the academy is under the cruel control of Dagmir's father Babylon. While everyone is weeping their stress in the havoc, Kenshi reveals his real potential as a white sacred mechanoid. Jaws drop while the mechanoid single-handedly wreaks havoc and shatters the enemy into pieces. It is also revealed that the black mech Mexia and the doll are the same person manipulated by Babylon. None of the parties win, and Kenshi together with the others retreat. Babylon gets hold of the shield of Gaia. Lecherous, on the other end, is quite doubtful of Kenshi to keep his loyalties with her because he is now a hot potato among the public because of his display of skills. Chaya and Dagmir speak of the assault and Chaya is wheedled to assassinate Kenshi but gets cold feet during the definite moment. This puts Chaya in danger as Dagmir tries to execute her but is intervened by Kenshi. Immediately after Chaya is rescued, Mexia appears with the shield of Gaia and compels everyone to retreat to Aura's home. Aura's father challenges Kenshi to analyze his potential. After he proves himself, he is engaged to Aura. The intimacy is punctuated by the intervention of the doll. Doll and Dagmir attack the bolt hole and Aura's father along with Kenshi shield the populace against any harm. The king faces off against Dagmir but cannot get what's best in her because of Gaia's shield. Kenshi once again gives his hand and rescues the king. Babylon sets his transporters on a mission to demolish all the churches when Kenshi and Chaya retrieve a church member, Ray's second. They then set off to Havaniwa, which is ruled by Maria's mother. They stumble across that the capital has been toppled by bandits who also took away a defense weapon called Meteor Fall. After they win the battle against the bandits, the girls fight on Kenshi, who chooses to be with Lecherous and hence becomes Swan leader and declares it an independent state. Remember about the friend who eloped? He is again in trouble as he is being attacked by sacred mech masters. Kenshi rushes to help him and falls into the trap as the mechanoid locks him in together with a time bomb. This enrages him and he treats back to all the mechanoids, teaching Dagmir a lifelong traumatic lesson. The girls recover Ceres' girlfriend while Kenshi hurts himself. The two new characters join the squad and all of them visit Chaya's father Na to get a better insight into the world they are living in. They learn some folklore about things including a doll and the forgotten warrior Kenshi. Later Mexi arrives and is acquainted about the stuff while the rest are intending to escape as Ray steals something and betrays them. In Yukine's village, the squad tries to convert a monolith of sacred rock into a potent sword. All hail to the sturdy Kenshi, but he falls sick immediately after the weapon is created. King Shurifan and Flora announce that Kenshi will tie the knot with both Aura and Maria. Mexia once again tries to convince him that she is his sole partner under the influence of Babylon, who plans to rewrite Kenshi's core crystal as he did to Mexia. But because Kenshi never had a core crystal, he breaks free. To end the clutter, all the nations come together to rout Babylon, who is on a mission to rekindle Mechalord Gaia. The Swan also embarks on the mission to revert Babylon from his mission, but they encounter Dagmir, who has been defeated. Babylon revived the Mechalord in the meantime and Doll pilots the Mechalord. Although Kenshi manages to take over Doll when Babylon appears, hemorrhages with Gaia, making himself invincible. During the intense fight, Kenshi somehow hears Mexia's cry for help, and he goes beyond his powers and smashes Gaia's core with a White Hawk sword. He salvages Doll/Mexia. Yulit then executes Babylon. After the battle, the girls unanimously agree that the girl who catches the running Kenshi can claim her rights on Kenshi. The anime closes with the girls chasing Kenshi. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please consider liking and subscribing so you never miss out on any new recaps. That's all for today, and we'll see you at the next one.